Another way I'll do it, by the way, is I'll also focus on how let's say I join a table, and the game's been going on for a little while. I don't know how long, but if there's another guy in the table that I respect, like let's say I sat down at the table with you, and I don't know who you are, but I can pretty quickly figure out, wow, okay, that guy knows how to play. I can see how you play against that player.
120.
And based on how you play against that player, I can start to assess him as well. You know, there's a lot of little tricks that you can do that I think you need to do if you want to be successful. I had a question here from Mark Frenchuk. Says, quick question, guys. When playing cash, do you have a few drinks? I play a cash game with friends every Friday night. We pretty much get drunk and play. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It really depends what you're trying to get out of poker. I mean, if you're the type of person who's playing 3 or 4 days a week, if you get drunk every time you play, you're going to very quickly become an alcoholic.
Now, this is interesting. Harry brought it in for a raise, and Ron just flat called with the 120 with ace-king. He's got ace-queen in the big blind here. And it looks like he's going to squeeze here. Now, is Ron going to back raise? See, I think Ron's just going to call.
Yeah, that's my guess would be Ron just calls. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Well, he's not going to have a chance to.
Harry's in
Harry
there.
just shoved.
Harry thinks the key's making a play.
And he might be. I mean, we can see that he obviously has a good hand. The problem is, though, is you just free-bet the $500. What are you doing now? It's $18.50 when it gets back to you. Well, let's assume Ron folds, but I don't know. Let's assume Ron folds, and if he does fold, what do you do with your key?
$18.50 for 3,000. Is that about right? $18.50 for 3,000. I mean, I would think, depending on the mood that Harry's in, I would probably fold.
Right. I mean, from what we've seen of Harry the last couple of weeks, last month. I mean, old school Harry. Yeah, I'm probably not folding, but.
And Ron is in a real quandary here too. He flatted an early position raise. He's gotten, there's a 3-bet by key, and now Harry just shoves. You just pitch ace-king off here. I mean,
the problem is he doesn't close the action either. Now he's just going with it, but he's got to worry about key behind him as well, and he's super deep. I think it's a good laydown.
Yeah, if you just call the initial raise.
Yeah.
Not that much. How much is it? 5?
So it's 1,800 more for 3,000.
And by the way, I mean, Harry's in a situation where, he's got a lot of fold equity. He's going to fold, let's say he folds 25% of the time. How often? Harry's got 37% equity.
Yeah, key folds.
How often does Harry need key to fold with that much equity to make this a profitable shove? Do you know the math off the top of your head?
Well, it's funny you asked that because I actually posted a fold equity equation on Crush Live Poker. It's tough to explain, but if he has 37% equity, he's basically risking, 1,800 to win like 700. I would imagine it's probably not that much, maybe 20, 15, 20%. If he has 37% equity, there's no way that he knows that he has 20%.
No, right. I mean, but he might have, occasionally he might have, Key could be squeezing with ace-5 suited, ace-3 suited. Key could also have ace-king, ace-queens. Key could obviously have aces, kings, queens, hands like that.
80. Raise to 80.
He was talking about your hand.
It's because of the size of his hat. So weird.
Yeah, no, it is an easy fold. It is an easy fold. This was just the hand that I was playing against when I had 5 deuce on an ace-4-3 board. Was just I just didn't think this particular player was capable of folding ace-king or ace-queen. Like I thought he was one of those players that I have seen in the past. Like if he has ace-king or ace-queen, he's losing 200 big blinds. He's not getting away from it. Unfortunately, he got away from it. So he's either learning or he's got to tell on me, or both.
Wow, look at the bear. 3 bets to 250 here. Oh, 3 bets to 250 here from Jared out of the small blind. Eldar's going to call. He cold calls 3 bets with pocket deuces. Ron's got 8s on the button.
Yeah, a little bit of something for everybody here.
Cate called. So here we go. 4 ways in a 3-bet pot. Jared with the betting lead.
Pot is $1,020. Flop is ace, 6, 4, rainbow. Nobody with an ace. 10s are still the best hand.
One time in Bandcamp?
And this could get checked through.
305.
Same hand?
No, Jared's going to bet 305 into 3 players. And this is kind of a protect equity bet?
Well, I think you would be betting here more with, say, like 10s than you would be with, like, kings.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
It still is a little bit optimistic
Too, you see?
into 3 people, but he has the best hand. He might even get called by worse here. You wouldn't think you'd get called by worse, but Ron's thinking about calling here with
Yeah.
pocket 8s. Ron's got some backdoor straight draws.
And you just feel like, what the fuck is vibrating? It's fucking over here.
He's in position. I mean, if Ron calls this,
I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna.
you know, does he maybe bluff some turns?
No, you don't.
He calls. Well, Bart is now 1630. And turns a 5, so he does pick up some equity.
You know what? Last time you had a good
And
feeling, too.
Jared checks.
All right, dude, let's
Does
do
Ron
this.
bet this
Thank
now
you, man.
and put some pressure on 10s?
You know, how often does Jared check ace, king, ace, queen
Thanks.
on the turn? Ron bet 600.
Thank you.
Wow, this is, I
Did
mean,
Ron give anything away with the amount of time that he was
took on the
anguished?
flop,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, then again, he gave a lot away because we can see the cards. I mean, if you're sitting at the table and he did that long, you might be thinking he's Hollywooding with a set.
I can side bet you. That's how sure
Such a hard call to make here with 10s.
Yeah.
I mean, I would fold.
Well, you also, I mean, what are the hands? What kind of hands is he calling with?
I just told you I'll put up money knowing you're
In
folding.
this specific
That means I know.
situation, You're probably
Right, Jerry? I'm not gonna talk about out of 10 times. I'm talking right now, bro. You're folding.
And I guess this is part of the value of it. If you are going to call with 8s, I think you know occasionally you're going to turn your hand into a bluff. You just wouldn't think Jared would continue with, firing with pairs when there's an ace on the board.
And
all
now
the
is
time.
Jared giving his hand away? That it's like jacks through kings, 10s.
Again.
I'm just saying, dude. The guy doesn't think too much.
It's all right.
It's funny. I'm going to actually go on the other side of it. Usually it's me talking about how live tells or I just think live tells when you're in the booth and you can see the card. You're like, yeah, look what he's doing. But when you're sitting at the table, sometimes you think it's the other way side. You're like, well, yeah. I mean, I think it's really smart to have a plan, and I think it's also smart to occasionally abort whatever mission you were on. Abort the plan if a card comes off that's just awful. Like let's say for example, you were going to double barrel bluff. You're like, I'm going to bomb turn and I'm going to bomb river. And let's just say there's an ace out there, and then the river's an ace also. And it's just the worst card in the world to bluff. They just got to look at it and go, you know what, this is not going to get through. Now Cate picks up kings. Joel has 10-9. There's a raise. Here comes a 3-bet. Let's see if Joel defends.
This is the same exact 9-10 off the
Except-
original razor.
Right, except this time Joel's in position.
In position, yeah. And he is going to call.
I mean, going back to that last hand, she had queen jack of hearts, so she had no hand, no draw, no nothing. Do you think she's folding? Ooh, top pair here for Joel. Do you think she's folding?
Versus a big pair here for Cate.
Right. Do you think she's folding?
What?
Nothing. I said, yeah. I agreed with you. She's got a big pair. Is she folding anything?
Yeah, you're right. No pair. She's not folding a king, and she's not folding like jacks.
Right. Is she folding 9s even?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's just. Well, she's gonna bet 210, and he calls.
Let's see how much value she tries to get out of him. She's got about $1,400 behind.
Oh, that's a great card for her. I mean, I guess he might have a 6 sometimes,
Yeah,
but
he
it's
could have
just
7-6 type hand.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had 6-5, he was already there. And she's going to continue bombing.
Right after that.
And this might actually get Joel to raise an eyebrow because he might think, wouldn't you slow down? Aren't you a little bit worried that I could have a 6? Aren't you slightly concerned that I could have a 6?
Wow, and he moved all in?
Yep, and she's going to call.
Wow.
And he's in a world of hurt. He needs a 10 and only a 10. 9 does not help him.
Why would he move all in? I don't understand. This is one of these situations where I don't understand. Well, why would you move all in?
I think he just thought that she had a flush draw or something, and he had the best hand. He had very.
Oh, they
wow.
ran it twice, and he hit a 10. He hit
Yeah.
a 10 on the river. Was it just that he just didn't want to give a free card out towards the end? But it looked like he had a fair amount of money behind, though.
Well, she bet 210 on the flop, and the graphics came off. Can we put the graphics back on real quick or no? She bet like 400 on the turn, and she only had like 1,400 left. So I guess his thought process was, well, I'm going to go with it.
But the thing is that the problem with that thought process, though, is that you're getting turn pot odds if you call, right? You're getting turn pot odds. If you move in, now you're laying. It's a difference. Let's say you're facing like a half pot size bet, Dave, right? Well, you're going to be getting 3-1 from the pot, so you need 25% equity. If you now suddenly just shove all in, now all of a sudden you go from 25% equity to needing close to 50% or whatever it is, because you have to you're laying a price now.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I mean, I'm just trying to get it crawl inside his head, and my guess would be, maybe he just figures You know, how is she not scared of the board pairing? I could have that. She's just got a flush draw. She's got nothing. I'm going to go with it.
Next time we're going late, we're going one time.
No, need me some more.